Welcome to Motivate. Today I am joined by our nutritionist and expert Leonora, who is going to be talking about all of the myths, all of the things that we read about, all of the questions that you probably have around prenatal nutrition, and we're really going to get into it today. Focus firstly on the questions we get the most about, which is the first trimester. I don't really crave junk food, I've got to say,
really good.
And that's just more
Really
like a
good.
lifestyle decision
Yeah.
that's come over years.
Mm-hmm.
In my first trimester, it's all you want, and you see it in the movies, like get down to McDonald's, get me a McDonald's. This actually happens, right? Like your body, for some reason, it wants ice cream, it wants junk food, and this is it's so difficult to if you're not used to that, to suddenly that's all you're putting into your body.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, because this is really important, and it's it makes people feel terrible, and it affects your mood and affects everything. How can we sort of fight that urge and just get a good balance going?
Okay,
in the
so there's
trimester?
a lot with that one. So let's talk about. Okay, so first
You're
of
closing
all,
your eyes.
I am.
Where do I start?
There's a lot with that. Okay, so let's look at the fact that over half of pregnancies are not planned, right? So life is like so intense as it is, and then you've got to plan for a baby that you haven't planned for. Okay, so that's overwhelming. So let's look at the emotional connection to food.
Yeah.
Food is sensual. It's all of the textures. It's the immediate gratification. It's that feel good right now hit. So we're going to want to go to food like ice cream or chips or crisp or fried chicken or whatever it is that we indulge in to give us that immediate okay, I can handle it, but can we really handle it? Because then there's the guilt after that. So I always say, first of all, take care of the emotions. So nutrition and emotions tie hand in hand.
Yeah.
You can't talk about one without talking about the other and do them equally, the fair amount of justice. So how am I feeling emotionally? How have I come to terms with the pregnancy? Do I have enough support around me? Do I feel like I can manage? All of these things are really important to how we react to food, right? So once you've dealt with your emotional disposition, which is, I think, one of the most important things for pregnancy, because how we feel, we release a lot of neurons and neurotransmitters and not toxins, but chemical responses to how we feel, and that all filters down to the baby as well. So this is how important it is. So handling the emotions is great. Once we've done that, I had like killer cravings for chips.
Yeah,
killer
chips. Anything
cravings,
salty, right?
Killer cravings, you have, when it's a pregnancy craving, you have got to have that food,
got to have it
right?
now.
So once in a while, fine. There should never be any sort of guilt shaming with food, like, oh my God, you had ice cream or you had chips, like this is the most terrible thing you can. No. Everything in moderation. If you have it once in a while, fine, because it's not going to do any damage if it's in moderation. Yeah. But then what you want to do is, if you're finding that you're having these cravings over time, I always say, look at the particular foods that you're craving and look at the minerals or the vitamins that they're linked to. Look at the emotions that they tie in with, and then see if you can find a healthy replacement. So, for example, if you're craving chocolate, right?
Yeah.
I never had a craving for chocolate, thank God.
Yeah, weirdly, I didn't either. But I know what you mean. Like ice cream is a really good one as well, right?
Exactly. So they're sweet,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
so you're craving something really sweet. If you look at the emotional connection with that, you want to be comforted. You want to feel loved. You want that sort of warm. Like, what is when you eat ice cream or something sweet? You just go, you feel something sweet.
Ice cream
like
right
a little
now.
hug. Right. So then you find the emotional connection to that, and then you say, okay, this is what I'm craving. I want the sweetness. I want the comfort. Right. Get a frozen banana, get some frozen raspberries, get some raw cacao powder, blend that up, and then you've got the same thing. You've got the cold, you've got the sweet, you've got the texture, but you're also getting the nutrients from that. So it's a win-win.
So part of this is just don't bring it into the house. Don't make it so accessible.
That's
and have
great
some stuff
as well.
Prepped, right?
That's really good
so
as well.
A massive thing that I used to do was just say to my partner, make me something, because if you don't, I will either not eat or I'll eat something that's really bad for me. So go in the kitchen, just prepare something healthy, and then it's like your brain, that's all it sees, and you somehow get through the meal.
I like that. Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're saying. You're just saying have that frozen banana in the freezer ready to go.
Preparation,
Prep it when you're feeling kind of okay.
And like you just said, not have it in the house. So if you know you're pregnant,
that's the big one, isn't it? Just don't have it in the house.
Go through, do a detox day, and especially when people have children, you buy snacks for the kids as well. I see the whole family.
All the kids.
When a midnight craving hits, and you go into the snack, you've cleared all your snacks up, but they still have the little they've got the fruit roll-ups or packs of crisp. Yeah. Clear the whole thing out. It's a lifestyle you're creating.
Yeah, totally.
Get everything out of the house so there's no temptation so that you go and dip into the kids' snacks, because it's there.
You're setting yourself up for this feeling of you know, just, binging on the wrong stuff and stuff. You're just setting yourself up for that. So it's just like remove that.
Remove it. Don't have the temptation there. Prep and prepare as to what sort of options you can have. Make healthier options. Still allow yourself every now and again to have something that's not like, you know, the holy grail of healthy, because you want, like, we're human beings, we need to enjoy food. Absolutely. Right? And then don't feel guilty around it, because it's just not a nice cycle to be in. Like,
and you do feel better. You do feel better. And I just want to reassure everybody, if you're going through the first trimester and you are feeling terrible, and I remember it way too well right now because I'm only in my third, you come out of it and you start to feel better, and those cravings will not be as intense. It will normalize.
They do.
And you kind of can't get your head around that in the first trimester, because you think it's going to keep going, and you're like, is this what it's going to be like till the end?
It's a lot in the first time. It's self-love, and like just being kind to yourself and knowing that it's not going to last. Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever. It could just end up being 6 weeks. Perfect. Thank you so much. That's definitely helped with, I think, a lot of the questions that we get quite regularly about the first trimester, and hopefully that just gives people some guidelines and some boundaries for how they can navigate.
I think so.
I think the toughest trimester. I think it is the toughest trimester. I think if you can get through that bit,
you're sailing.
Well, you're waddling. You're waddling, not sailing, but you're kind of moving, so it's good. But thank you. I hope that was really, really informative. Thank you so much, Leonora.
You're welcome.
And that's the first trimester questions.
Done.
Thank you so much for taking part in today's video, and if you enjoyed it, then please do give us a follow on any of our social channels. So you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on YouTube, or you can follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly uploading loads of useful content to support you on your wellness journey. See you in your next workout.